Chapter 14. Tom and Huck stood up, weak but alive, and began watching the men through the holes in the wall. Follow? Not they. They were happy to reach ground again without broken necks. Moments later, the boys left the house, hating themselves, hating the bad luck that made them take the shovels there and lose the treasure. They decided to find that Spaniard and follow him to number 2. They knew he would come to town to do his job, to take revenge. Then a thought ran through Tom's head. Revenge? What if he means us, Huck? Oh, no, said Huck. Don't say that. The boys talked it all over on the way back to the town. They agreed that Injun Joe could mean somebody else, or at least Tom, because the murderer knew nothing about Huck. But Tom did not like to be alone in danger. Company would be better, he thought. The adventure of the day was bad for Tom's dreams that night. 4 times he had his hands on that rich treasure, and 4 times he had nothing in his fingers. Early in the morning he had breakfast and went to find Huck. Huck was sitting in a small boat with his feet in the water. He looked very sad. Hello, Huck. Hello, Tom. Silence for a minute. Then Tom said, Huck, we've got to find Injun Joe and track down the money. Tom will never find him. A man has only one chance to get so much money, and that one's lost. And I'm too much afraid of him, and I don't want to see him again. Well, I'm afraid of him too, but I'd like to see him and track him to his number 2. Number 2. Yes, that's it. What do you think it is? I don't know. Say, Huck, perhaps it's the number of a house. No, Tom, that isn't it. If it is, it isn't in this town. There are no numbers here. Well, that's right. Let me think a minute. Here, it's the number of a room in a hotel, you know. Oh, that's it. There are only 2 hotels. We can find out easily. You stay here, Huck, and wait for me. Tom went to check the hotels alone. He did not like to have Huck's company in public places. He was gone half an hour. He found that in one of the town hotels, room number 2 had long been occupied by a young lawyer. In the other one, room number 2 was a mystery. The owner's young son said it was kept locked all the time, and he never saw anybody go into it or come out of it except at night. He thought that the room was haunted. He also noticed a light there the night before. That's what I found out, Huck. I think that's the number 2 we need. I agree, Tom. What are we going to do now? Let me think. Tom thought a long time. Then he said, I'll tell you. The back door of that number 2 is the door that comes out into that little alley between the hotel and the old brick store. You get all the door keys you can find, and I'll take all of Auntie's. And the first dark night we'll go there and try them. And we need to find Injun Joe, because he said he was going to town to take his revenge. If you see him, just follow him. And if he doesn't go to that number 2, that isn't the place. Oh, I don't want to follow him by myself. Why, I'm sure it'll be night. He won't ever see you, and if he did, maybe he'll never think anything. Well, if it's dark, I'll follow him. I don't know. I'll try. He can take us right to that money. You're right, Tom. I'll follow him. I will. Now you're talking. That night, Tom and Huck were ready for their adventure. They walked around the hotel until after 9. One of them was watching the alley, and the other the hotel door. Nobody entered the alley or left it. The Spaniard didn't enter or leave the hotel door. The night promised to be a clear one, so Tom went home. He was sure that Huck would come for him. But the night remained clear, and Huck went to sleep in an empty box about midnight. On Tuesday, the boys had the same bad luck. Also Wednesday. But Thursday night promised better. The sky was covered with clouds. It was very dark. Tom left the house with his aunt's old tin lantern and a large towel to cover it. He hid the lantern in Huck's box, and the watch began. An hour before midnight, the owner of the hotel closed the door. There was no sign of the Spaniard. Nobody had entered or left the alley. Tom got his lantern, lit it in the box, covered it with the towel, and the two adventurers went to the hotel. Huck remained at the hotel door, and Tom went into the alley. Huck stood at the door waiting. He was worried. He wanted to see the light from the lantern. It would frighten him, but at least it would tell him that Tom was alive. It seemed hours since Tom had disappeared. Huck feared all sorts of terrible things and expected some trouble. Suddenly, there was a flash of light, and Tom came to him. "Run," he said, "run for your life." He didn't have to repeat it. Once was enough. Huck was making 30 or 40 miles an hour in a few moments. The boys never stopped till they reached the other end of the town. Just as they got in an empty house, the rain started. As soon as Tom got his breath, he said, "Huck, it was awful. I tried 2 of the keys, but they made such a noise. I was so scared. They didn't turn in the lock either. Well, without noticing what I was doing, I took the knob and the door opened. It wasn't locked. I got in, took the towel off the lantern and—" "What? What did you see, Tom?" "Huck, I almost stepped onto Injun Joe's hand." "No." "Yes, he was lying there asleep on the floor." "What did you do? Did he wake up?" "No, he didn't even move. I think he was drunk. I just took that towel and ran." "Say, Tom, did you see that box?" "Huck, I didn't look around. I didn't see the box. I didn't see the cross. I didn't see anything but a bottle and a tin cup on the floor by Injun Joe. Yes, I saw many more bottles in the room. Say, Tom, now's a good time to get that box if Injun Joe's drunk." "It is that. You try it." Huck shook his head. "Well, no, I think. Only 1 bottle near Injun Joe isn't enough. He's not drunk enough. I can't do it, too." They thought for a long time, and then Tom said, "Look here, Huck. Let's not try that thing again till we know Injun Joe's not in there. It's really awful. If we watch every night, we'll see him go out sometime or other, and then we'll take that box and run away." "Well, I agree. I'll watch the whole night long, and I'll do it every night, too, if you do the other part of the job." "All right, I will. All you have to do is go up Hooper Street. If I'm asleep, throw something at the window and I'll join you." "I agree." "Now, Huck, the rain is over and I'll go home. It'll be morning in a couple of hours. Go back and watch that hotel, will you?" "I said I would, Tom, and I will. I'll watch that hotel every night for a year. I'll sleep all day and I'll watch all night." "That's all right. Now, where are you going to sleep?" "In Ben Rogers' garden. They let me. I bring water for them." "Well, if I don't want you during the day, I'll let you sleep. Anytime you see something's up in the night, just run to my place."